Hello, all good listeners belong Radio Maria. All viewers, we will start on me play inside long this time. Me program Singaut belong all people. Me play welcome me play gata. Suppose we will start on me play long this time. For the listeners, viewers, we welcome back Mr. Scott Whitey. Thank you long start on me play inside long this program where Mr. Sidan Dr. One time. And also we have a special guest here, Mrs. Whitey, Mr. One time me play. All good listeners, Mary belong Mr. Scott Whitey. And we have Adriana, Mr. Pantemi, and me Eddie. We have me place down talk in salon this topic belong morning. All right, first up, me like bring him across long people good listeners and viewers who are watching. We'll be talking about Bougainville. It's a very special talk along this time, and you as a Bougainvillean or you have cast Bougainvillean. And me something when me play can line him long harim sambil long ting by Mr. Scott White by present him in Chalong Sla morning. Well, let me just outline the context for you listeners. Bougainville voted overwhelmingly for independence in the 2019 referendum. By that vote was never meant to be the final step. The Bougainville Peace Agreement set out a long negotiated pathway with the joint supervisory body of or JSB as the key forum where the autonomous Bougainville government and the Papua New Guinean government resolve disputes, make decisions and manage the transitions toward a final political settlement expected around 2016. Recent tensions, including a legal dispute, delays in implementing the JSB resolutions, and strong statements from Bougainville's leadership have raised fresh concerns about whether the peace architecture is holding at a critical moment. Morning to Mr. Scott Whitey.
Morning, Eddie.
Thank you long staff on the me plan sa long time na yes as me outline in Pinis will be discussing over this big plot topic ting. Number one, asking to Solin Salong this asking so you can start me hope. What did the 2019 referendum actually decide? And just as importantly, what did it not decide about Bougainville's future?
Yes, so 2019 referendum one plahap long timeline long all the events come up since before independence, before lot time colonial time yet come lo display resistance lo Bougainville long identify me met painim identity belong met na painim separation lo display all the colonial powers we push na pull long try long decide where by Bougainville is stop long ama. So emi come na come long one critical point where you may look him a crisis come up na one 10-year war between government of Papua New Guinea want them all military elements belong want them BRA na display me causing plenty something straight come up plenty die come up to 20,000 plaman Mary according to official figures 20,000 plaman Mary die. So display problem I come up na I come long narbla critical point ken Sandline crisis 97 where Major General Jerry Singaut Brigadier General at that time and it also display foreign mercenaries where government belong said Julius Chen bring him come and said by no up go na kill all people lo Bougainville. Now display 97 crisis Sandline crisis semon critical point lo look long because Emmy come up one catalyst belong bringing peace come lo Bougainville. Na time display something come up no you got this peace process where he come up na peace process can it take him narbla decade narbla two decade 1 decade and a half lo even come lo display point where you may write him going chat lo constitution lo you may lo Papua New Guinea constitution lo recognize him also Bougainville and by come up on autonomous region lo Papua New Guinea. So display points lo timeline emi to talk line important lo realize him also referendum emi no come up nothing emi got long pla walk about past time come he got all man Mary die na he come lo display point where referendum come up now. Now suppose you look long this la time na mel long Bougainville crisis, I come long send line na I come long referendum ya. One plan long time generation who said even fight long Bougainville crisis, Bougainville war long plenty blow li die finish. So it come to this time where this la generation now, new pla generation one time sample I leftover blong past them, I vote lo referendum. But this la thinking blong independence puna aspirations for people ya stop it. So time I come to 2019 na government ito okay. Inside this la peace process I go lo referendum now because referendum only took long pla time finish. So time come to 2019 na only vote lo referendum you can look him also this la aspiration I'm stop it all money thinking it this la something we only fight long am na die long. So 2019 time only vote 97.9% only vote lo kisim independence referendum. What them decide long I show him bel cry blo man me all to also mibla like sanap lo mibla yet na mibla like him country blo mibla yet them referendum independence to also one of something emi do decide lo make him lo actually move towards this la block government long actually move towards granting this la independence because inside long this block get layers blow legal jargon na documents na one of something is stuff long it's la final power stop yet rest long parliament long ratify so parliament lo ratify na by parliament to give him toko right or some okay Bougainville you can go na come up independent now you know some what emino talk clear long is how by me ratify whether by me gonna vote or by me go through the normal process or kind of some this la come this la mark now where emino clear because you may not actually sit down and talk long I'm long process come to this la mark now so now we got this la process long go through long this la walk about blow how by me make him na come up this la point where by me go to parliament na ratify na even so go to the parliament na law ratification by me make him also one process by me be him so this la lack of clarity and one of something we try to straight him now one time this la ratification one key something where you may should need to look long is this la JSB joint supervisory body now chairman tupla chair joint supervisory body prime minister of Papua New Guinea who said sitting prime minister one pla chairman prime minister narpla chairman president lo autonomous Bougainville region now president Ismail Torowama so tupla co-chair na in anit lo display all got all narpla advice and about by sit down na all by talk sit down and discuss in this place so Bougainville minister attorney general blo ABG government Ezekiel Masat this line by work bung them long time long I name out way long plus all narno bureaucrats so you got big plug group where all make him up like JSP by me to talk little JSP so me to talk little
Alright, as we move on toward 2026, why is this period seen as the decisive phase of the Bougainville peace agreement?
Yeah, so Emmy one play important hub long period lo Bougainville peace process because by 2026 you may supposed to ratify him now. Na suppose you may not ratify him by that problem because you got this uncertainty stuff. You may look somewhere finish or some Bougainville been asking the independence before long Papua New Guinea sim independence. So this plan took the independence you know belong now that's all. I mean go back before even before long 1800s time stop on it lo German rule yet Bougainville can also stop long area. So also come kisim label lo Bougainville and then kisim all go narplo German colonies throughout the Pacific. So you got this historical references where you can find him also all kisim line out lo Bougainville use him also one labor source cheap labor source lo kisim all kind of policeman labor kind of karimol go lo Micronesia this lab where you got all German presence lo so Bougainville over the time so si look historically emi stablo arere sola. So time ikam lo 1960s only iga display strong lo push lo mibla like him self determination mibla like him mibla et pa masana em kana so. So 2026 em display period where you may suppose long parliament ratify him na talk clear na talk also mibla give him Bougainville independence na bambla need long right him go inside suppose you may need long right him go inside long all provisions blo constitution blo yumi yet lo Papua New Guinea em lug blo mi sa layman mino loya na mito to so nugud mi gian yedi so em displa displa period now em 2026 em important now narbla something em important too em also Bougainville yet emi tokol sem true long president na attorney general Ezekiel Massa to said he been released statement previously only tokol sem suppose Papua New Guinea inonabla decide bambla declare him independence lo 2027 so em critical point because 2027 too by me occupied lo election so em minul sem by yumi how by me deal on them display issue belong independence now narblas key you got plenty layer blo display tok ya narblas something em some prime minister long 3rd of December em been making one plus statement em tokol some by nogat mo regardless of any circumstance by nogat deployment belong all PNG troops any form of PNG troops any military intervention by Golo Bougainville and by one place demilitarized zone em call him also. So em mean also suppose 2027 only declare him independence na iga trouble iga one something PNG by and need lo commitment lo prime minister and banana deploy in any military lo display em display kind of something so time you look lo case lo Bougainville you must look lo all get that display different layers is stuff long em plus one em all tok na one em all tok no tok long em. So 2026 em display em important em this all tok is supposed to conclude na yimi go lo ratification no.
So mi look mo some time you long catch up lo yumi long this time you talk about 2016 that's coming here so em big play issue un nar plus kim mi la kas kim long em is what did the joint supervisory body and why has it become so central to managing the post-referendum process?
So display tok belong JSB emi constitutional body set up and need lo constitution and need lo display peace process and need lo peace process so one em something only tok na coach I agree long em constitution I provide him lo display avenue so suppose you read him lo last few months ikam iga display dispute belong money between ABG na regional member of Bougainville Peter Tsiamalili Jr. So Peter Tsiamalili Jr. suppose andit long normal provincial government system Peter Tsiamalili Jr. by kind of some governor. But Bougainville am no normal province. Am autonomous region one time president belong em yet. Where all man Mary voting. So role below Peter Tsiamalili Jr. some regional MP, am kind of some regional MP, but emi no got this kind power or some governor. So what emi make him was emi kiss him all funding all grants below ikam lo Bougainville anit lo regional one me anit long no work belong him na emi put him lo trust. So Bougainville government had lo touch him this lamonia. But JSB through long all resolutions belong and he pass him resolutions also pample using lamonia so pample using lamonia so but this lamonia impact lo trust. So ABG kisim display issue go long court na try long straight him. What court he make him now? I'm also emi rule against him JSB. Emi rule against him JSB na emi talk long this plol resolutions plo GSB emino count anit long this pla tok blo money long emi. So now emi bring him this pla why you ask him whether why I'm central GSB am central is because I'm on the constitutional body where two pla government agree lo set him up through lo peace process. Lo manage him lo peace process na go lo ratification. So suppose M1 pla body where two pla emi stapan nit lo constitution na all resolutions belongan by all semuanem now. Suppose mi pla harem JS tok JSB make mo ban pla harem court one something court make mo em kana so this pla by looking long last few days lo this month beginning lo month only tok long JSB na only tok long no plenty tok all tok long Ismail Torrama, President Ismail Torrama ikam na emi tok sem government must respect him process plo peace na JSB resolutions em supreme na you must wana something mitla decide him em na prime minister decide him mi pla must abide by na make him or something come up according to JSB resolutions em oglo tok sem then emi tok sem this pla elections pa nugut pa na come up so you pla no harem tok this pla tok mi tok nugut elections pa na come up bam pla suspend him election emi tok sem then emi tok nar pla something ken emi tok sem em by destabilizing peace process na lakan so reason why JSB central is because one pla body where essential law peace process na ratification law independence law bougainville so suppose you know harem tok where this la body resolve lo make him then one something tok lo side lo ratification na peace process na ratification na lo referendum by also na bam harem tok blo no bam ni lo court this blo question na stop so that's why Ismail Torrama na ABG government lo tok lo disla
Something interesting where we play plenty no sabe along this blah harem something we process where you can go through long Mr. Scott, why was the most recent JSB meeting expected to be a critical step forward on the road to a final settlement?
So even got plenty points lo timeline belong this JSB na negotiations towards ratification below independence below Bougainville ratification below all referendum results. One pla key something only tok and several key agreements. One pla call him Erakone agreement where you got some pla tok make him na only agree one time lo move forward one time. Narpla only decide also about call him Melanesian agreement where only bring him all geta passing custom blow negotiate na walk bung one time na tok na reaching consensus. But only using this pla kind method long reach him one pla final resolution because only realize him also. Suppose mi pla tram lo make him lo wave lo white man na kisim all external advisors na come na advise mi pla how lo go about bambla still bam yet so all talk okay imi paini mon pla solution where homegrown na Melanesian so that bami pla paini mon pla way forward because at this point imi tok lo mia tu pla party one time so long when something lo make him Bougainville set and bambla si independence Papua Gini to yes but na process sa molsam miblo na sa how bang blumikim lo satisfy 2 plus 1 so this blow get a threat na all get a uncertainty and stop that's why all lo push towards this agreement it's la last talk this la last meeting important also so only trying to finalize in this look at something come up on one basic list of things to do na one something lo make him who said lo make him one something and then move towards 2026 na 2025 companies now.
What happened during that meeting that shifted the tone and raised alarm on the Bougainville side?
Yeah, I think mi kalap go past lili ke mi tutok long displa funding na how em all pakim lo trust na how liksim ko lo court lo decide him long em questioning validity belong JSB. So suppose JSP on the constitutional body and it lo design and it lo peace process. Suppose when something em talk em should final. Na imi should work him. But he got this dual system where I'm apply lo Bougainville where he got this national government system where Peter Tiamalili Jr. and Pat Blowem. Then he got this autonomous Bougainville region, autonomous Bougainville government where President Torahama he go pass lo. So also me talk past them. Suppose any one normal province, simple clear cut and sa Peter Tiamalili governor. So when I'm decision and make you want the money, blow belong lo decide lo future lo Bougainville. But lo here I got two block papa blow la money. But one plan come long, name money me come long, karena sama lo call him name blow narblo man na money come. So I'm thinking look at me put him lap or use him lo narblo something. But narblo money make him decision finish lo this la money na one block lo narblo man said he make him decision antap lo name lo la money and prime minister lo country. So two block coach inside the JSP said the chairman's la body. Now only make him decision finish la where this la money by go.
I think that's the other that leads to the question where I'm trying to ask you. President Ismail Torama spoke strongly during and after that meeting. What was he signaling to Port Moresby?
Basically, emi tokol sem one something all people I talk lo Bougainville emi start finish lo paper. Mi bla vote finish. Na all get something where JSB talk long em ya. JSB talk long em na decide long and you must be him. Because suppose you not be him now, you may undermine him peace process. Na suppose you may undermine peace process na give him importance for this process, then what's the use lo harem talk lo Papua New Guinea time you may move towards independence na 2026. And this emol talk where narrative lo Ismail Torahama, President Ismail Torahama want them ABG government this plan.
Just, can I ask one small question, if it is okay?
Yes.
Yes, Father.
Okay. Maybe I didn't understand clearly, but I want to know what is the root, because it's one country. Papua New Guinea, Bougainville is not two different countries, it's one country. Independence was given like that for all together, no? Then what is the root cause of all these issues? Why this division and why all these issues? From where it started? I would like to know that.
Father, you want me to give you a history lesson or?
No, just a small.
Okay.
Yeah, I think me explaining Peninsula beginning, yeah. It's Bougainville has always identify me at also one people na one identity separate lo Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
And it's always been like that, like go back long 1800s time, the German colonizers came. It's always been a separate people, separate ethnicity, separate political structure, cultures different. So when Papua New Guinea wanted to get independence, the Australians wouldn't let Bougainville push for independence because they knew that without Bougainville's inclusion in Papua New Guinea as a state, by Papua New Guinea by not survive economically. And lo displaced na only including Bougainville one.
Support the resource.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one plus something where me play with we were small that time. Now me play looking this big crisis come up. Plan the money in his life. Adrian, you got not plus first.
Yeah. President Ismail Toroma spoke strongly during and after the meeting. What was he signaling to Port Moresby?
I think this question was
okay.
asked already.
Oh, yes, sorry.
The next.
Bougainville has taken a 125 million dispute to court. Why does the ABG say this case is not really about money?
Yeah, I think me explaining finish the money is not the issue. It's
Mhm.
the resolutions and the validity of the JSB resolutions. So because JSB decide how to use the money, but court it took also got you got narbla papa blis la money well custodian blis la money no papa blonga custodian blis la money is stop na custodian it also put him la trust because you got two parties involved. You got this like regional uh, political structure. Now you got presidential. Now who said by decide long how by this money by used. So court the rule in favor of long Peter Chiamalili Jr. So Ismail Torama talk okay suppose this JSB am constitutional body where prime minister of the country na miet stop long na mipla decide lo how to use money na mipla by decide lo ratification belong uh, referendum lo parliament one em papers belum mibla na also JSP one em mibla still one bla valid body or mibla still got credibility enough lo perform him duties belum mibla or emba also one em now na suppose you bla no recognize him resolutions bla JSP then one em point bla continue at them display na peace process em also one em now because mibla kam la display makwe mibla put him gun go down finish na JSP suppose lo karim this political voice lo bogen bill now na articulate him one something I'm supposed to talk now so I'm lo explain him one something imi talk lo
Alright. Next the question. What precedent does Bougainville feel could be set if JSB decisions can be delayed, reinterpreted, or ignored?
yeah you got plenty implication blogan one play implication blogan memolsem suppose JSB emi decide olsem Bougainville by independence na process bla ratification em by olsem and then somebody kisim this bla tok ya na em disagree with them na kisim go lokot na emi win lokot em by also na bam laharan tok bla JSB o bam laharan tok bla national supreme court. So this block is something I stop. So it's about precedence. You set him on something na court them set him precedence now because emi told some one of something JSB tok emi no karim big pla heavy also big pla weight also one of something court tok because Bougainville am still part of Papua New Guinea even though I'm autonomous region. So this block that question come into play time President Torama took also it's not about the money. It's about the principles of the establishment and the process. JSP now resolutions. Emi give him long. Emi still got power to make him slow resolution. All resolutions by implemented the consular decision. So by also one now. And that's why I'm going to talk this.
Alright. Next the question is going to court a necessary legal safeguard for Bougainville, or does it risk undermining the spirit of the peace process itself?
Yeah, it's best answered by a lawyer, long display. But you know, Blomie, personal opinion, Blomie Molson, and it's very simple and simplified version Blomie because thinking Blomie and simple in terms of legal something. So, personally, meeting also common sense should win through the display. Display of disputes here, and fasting. Common sense should rule on top of the disputes. And first thing is looking thinking blol man Miriam stop lo win. Thinking blol man Miriam stop in his referendum it tok. So vehicle blow moving this tok from referendum na peace process referendum go along ratification and stop through long JSP. So you should harem talk blow JSP. I'm thinking blow me. Now I'm seeing something where President Torama I talk blam. You set him up JSB finish, so why me over to token go pull him tight in Ken or something? Why do we need a parallel system? Not decide him how by this system where I'm constitutionally guaranteed lo by narplo court process by come na decide him one something Ken but maybe make you want them one something JSB talk finish. So em this plus struggle where the line will go through long. So lot answer him totok blue opinion blue me am simple or some aram totok blue JSB tas all the people make it work.
Well, Scott, I think we'll take a bit of a break here. Na imi ka mga side long looking last block questions mo imi inside long program. Just a small break. Welcome back, all good listeners inside long program Singaut Blong all people. One time, Mr. Scott Whitey. I may play to thank you through long you listeners. Now viewers Blong Radio Mare where we stop on to me play inside live here in the studio. When we play we talk along the process of JSP with Bougainville. The topic for this morning. The Mr. Scott Whitey. Welcome back. JSB has no enforcement powers. Is that now its greatest structural weakness?
Yeah, M1 plus something where all display body need long look na tok long M plus display all get something in me work make him now one time ratification one time JSB na display court case na something M new bla ground Papua New Guinea. So all the line need to realize in this la. And me blow about let me about like me blow try long kissing best practice law world come bunga mountain. But time me try long apply practice outside inside law country by me finding some and by still fall short. So this blow walk about here me work make him long for both for Bougainville na for Papua New Guinea yet na systems blue me. Constitution blue me, legal system blue me, na the process belong allowing one black country lo kisim independence for Papua New Guinea na Bougainville new bla something. So easy by you pain mo sa online to harap na gimol independence narval line to no kan gimol independence kan so. But one plus something too by you notice him mo sa online it sa dito ko sa no kan gimol independence all one kan line kan sa beli ko sa emo pa whole new generation of to. So line sa distance lo 20s belong 30s belong said inobin stop time all man dialogue Bougainville. All baby nana yet time all line it dialogue Bougainville. So all he got this kind thing all na understand this la.
Really the pain.
So all get this something I mean new plus threat. I mean walk about the new plus road cutting bus walk about the new plus road igolo painim this la ratification by come up also man. Na even you ask him online inside the government online but talk some me plus no clear lo how by him end up like final product there. And by also nan. Mibla like him by some line like him Bougainville independent, some line like him some middle ground, some consensus, some kind system whereby me design him long. Now whether this la system whereby me design him lo future where and by satisfactory one time Bougainville or not, emi mi no sabe. But so she look lo referendum it talk independence. So when I'm something now, but you give him long all bougainvillean lo all by and by better than independence. And this is la question where Papua New Guinea try to answer him. Even James Marape too, I'm struggle to answer him this plan. So by look him la statement belong and I make him long 3rd of December, I'm talking some mi belong na poret. One blow about this la rot. So I'm show him this plan. Talk picture me give him, I'm cutting mi bla cut bus na go la upset and this la. It's a M1 bla dangerous walkabout lig long how am by 10 out suppose you mean no walkabout good. You mean no walkabout good. And on both sides, not just the bougainville that's all. Like planty line, you look at some bougainville back independence. No, bougainville back independence. But you need to look too long. When I'm call him domino effect, blow independence blow bougainville. Suppose you give him independence blow bougainville, maybe more of it too, like him financial autonomy. We will like a financial autonomy. New Island like in financial autonomy to now. Narba challenge now by finding him how be me designing financial autonomy now. Or by me burkim go all fopla region now. Kind of. So go back to history. This is the reason why you make at all provincial government here was because of compromise between John Momis, Chief John Momis, na Grand Chief Sir Michael Somarelo, Trime Long, satisfying both parties. So provincial government system give him bougainville this autonomy where only like him long. But then by looking also he come along a point where 50% belong exports to Papua New Guinea and come out of bougainville. Whether all man marry lo place he kiss him enough benefits long. This is a tribe world class mine is lab or nogat and by looking also nogat. That's why he got big walk come up long no line day. So historically long understanding why you may total now here is you may look like this plot something come up. So you may come to the point where talk okay, you may work in provincial government system because before by got popular regional government as well. But because the display push, you may small provincial government. Now okay, now come really you may centralize him can. Now you may rouse him some power can you may know that this like kind of premier you may still get patemon pla watered down version below one something is stop before. Before you can get on the vote of no confidence inside the provincial government about rouse him premier. And then you put him new man going chat. So I'm kind of some mini prime minister in chat this place so all provincial governments here. So you may come on the point where you may write him going chat the constitution also after the Bougainville War, write him going to the constitution also Bougainville by now on the autonomous region below Papua New Guinea. So like narpla upgrade can long display trim long satisfy him ting na like na bell cry blow what man marry. So you may come long narpla stage now referendum come up na referendum to independence. So next stage now also on them. So the inside long corridors blow parliament na waigani or line of top immediate lo panyong pla way long. But Bougainville by still stop on it lo Papua New Guinea but imi satisfying through long narpla kind arrangement can. But that's the and this plus something emi create him this land uncertainty na emi create him this like planted thinking long how we move forward one time ratification by look also one na finish ratification by and by independence so by got narpla arrangement suppose narpla arrangement one narpla arrangement can you got like one something stable list where you can take him off can
just a narpla question where me like ask him I think I'll do the two questions together. Can a peace process survive if its outcomes depend largely on political goodwill rather than binding mechanisms? Narpla question, when JSB resolution stall, who is actually accountable? The Prime Minister, Cabinet, Parliament, or the system itself?
Suppose you me start on the second question so she look also me to question it's la system where me designing prime lock single ratification yeah. You got plenty flows long and to you. you got plenty flows long and you can look him also this flows here and will test him lo court yeah will test him lo court na court you look him also no ba mi bien him display ba mi making decision blow me also so you got imi work test him look at the aspects of democratic system mean a constitution mean even systems this peace process here and you test him all get something because a new ground na you mean yet na ginset long all systems blame me you mean no sabe also me talk about me repeat him ken you mean no sabe end product by look also man you mean even you ask him online inside the government all talk me no clear by look also man Bougainville sabe la outcome belong me like in this but lo Papua New Guinea me still not clear long how em come out and belong em come out also man because there's a lot more at stake lo side blo Papua New Guinea where me by losing suppose Bougainville go em reality me but you mean on long plenty politician by non ablo come out na to also em reality em also you think because once you start talk also now now you start this narrative em come up mainstream now you talk lo fragmentation blo this blo the country you look lo fragmentation blo all provincial government but of no got me like plenty problem on them Lapa Islands line we like it autonomy play it bampla blocking road lo lane charge him tax blow PMV come down kind of stuff so that me can raise him money blow me play it so there's a lot of one of me can something but come up with and the layers are many plenty layer you got legal layer blow and how ba me address him constitution suppose you know, Bougainville is setting precedents, but addressing future demands below autonomy also one them how by me him so by you find him also by got need below redesigning this whole system in got land or using one pilot case na talk also okay imi try one time more by past imi try one New Island past them or NGI by also one them imi create him all popular regional government kind of somewhere been talk past them or imi so by me need lo rethinking so suppose you actually sit down and look you know, it's Papua New Guinea yet, I'm on play experiment of democracy. Since independence, I'm on play experiment of democracy. How about you kiss in this 800 plus language, unite them all as a one plus country, give them all flag, talk them all one plus national anthem, pledge blue by put your talk, and then parliament system blue by England, nakam putim, hap blow Australia, low blow Australia, bring come put on them. And this is now you may one black country. So, but you look also, you may still finding problem because you may kiss him this look at half and you may try to make him something and work. Now, on top of this now, you may try to decide the future of one possible country. No, I'm saying.
Okay, I think time is catch up with us, Mr. Scott Whitey. Just the last question. Finally, as 2026 approaches, is this the most fragile moment in the Bougainville peace process since the agreement was signed, or a necessary stress test of its strength?
Yeah, for me, I'm no consent too much long this online it was all by cross and all by go declare him got back at some problem can is lab. Me no consent with this because here's the thing. You have very wise people in charge of the process. So, society looking bagarab long Bougainville crisis. One is the cause him also all understanding war, na conflict, na die, big plus something. So, si look lo Ismail Torama, member of the BRI, sawe long, one of something mean long by you kiss him. One political conflict, na one economic disagreement, na escalating ko one full-blown war. Emi understanding this la, so emi clear also mi bla banana. Only understand mi bla na go back la this bla up when mi bla come long. Na emi tu emi talk this bla. Mi bla no na go back long. One something mi bla making finish. Mi bla need to move forward and this la. But in order to move forward, you bla need to hurry mi bla.
The government.
So M display. So me no Suppose online to so emba narlo work and mino consent lo display. Igat online uset no very capable, very mature. Uset in charge lo disla process. So si look long makeup long body disla body ya. The very senior Bougainvilleans uset actually work long guiding disla process na pushing ko. Lo look plumiet if they wanted to declare independence lo 2027 ball working na PNG government by Mickey. But the big plus something it's out of respect of the process that Mipla work making because Mipla both sides Mipla making commitment or some Mipla behind him. Mipla non have long deviate. So end blow fighting come up finish Rausimol weapons, dearmament process and come up finish like 30 years ago. And then now when time blow move forward towards this plus. So there's long cosim this narpla conflict lo come up and by no minoting by come up. Lo display. However, you got possibility also, you got display all consensus is stop long and by creating narpla kind conflict where mibla mibla no expecting or mibla no clearly understanding and this like something come up. Now on the PNG side, and me talk long earlier, suppose you mean careful one time how you mean managing this la process na Bougainville come out na talk reason why mibla like move out na mibla like go mibla it is because all needs blo mibla PNG government am unable to look out him. Now the minute Bougainville talk also now by looking on the province to but also Prime Minister no look at me government the Prime Minister am corrupt and can talk also come up mibla like imposing the GST blo mibla come up and then imagine if 22 blo province working. Now online to also online said the stop long place who said they got gun who said the dissatisfied with the local member belong only dissatisfied with them processes below government from the talking below block road now. So all that's something am coming to play. So that's why there's a very delicate balancing act that PNG government all the line inside the process will make him. So it's look it's more about Papua New Guinea managing its own affairs na look careful also you know can hurry up na go extra like independence managing this la past time okay easy kind of same.
Anyway, Mr. Scott White, thank you through long time long you maybe plenty long all thing where you share inside long discussion all Bougainvillean soli harim me plau the Papua New Guinea harim long the process itself plus something where me very crucial. We must talk to good long or big man bring must sit down and discuss him agree upon the betterment long Bougainville and also side bring all Narpla provinces to inside our country. Thank you for your time, Mr. Scott White. Thank you, Mrs. Scott White, for your time. Stefan the Mipla and Andrena. Thank you. With that, all listeners, viewers, by me Bungan Long Narpla around Siram Blong me with the program Singaut People. Bye bye.